Hi everyone! Another second day in the row that I get to chat to everyone here. It's literally just the best. I hope you are all well and that you have had a beautiful week so far. Right back in the center of another week again. Can't believe it, but I must say I've had a good 2.5 days so far. I hope the rest of you have as well. And hello again to those who joined me on my Jeff Ed talk at 11. I could just talk forever. They literally have to cap my talking time, otherwise we could just stay on here for a few hours. So it's so lovely to have you guys there. Guys, check in. Let me know you're online. I see there's people popping on. Those of you who are doing one-on-one coaching, let me know who's coach, which teams are here, and I'm sure your coaches would like to know that you're doing your flows as well. So today's session, very much around stretching. This week's theme is wrists and ankles and joints. So we're kind of going to get into those parts of our bodies. And doing that little bit of work, paying a little bit of attention to areas that, like wrists and ankles, that really take quite a lot of strain, is such powerful medicine for your body. So that when you are in your shoes, your sneakers, if you're cycling, if you're wearing high heels, whatever it is, that you give those ankle joints the support they need, right? If you're doing the high intensity stuff, legs definitely need a bit of draining. And then, of course, opening up the wrists and really just getting everything flowing and moving everywhere. So welcome, everyone. Hi, Tam. Hi, Belinda. Nice to see your faces here. I see there's a few more people online. Guys, check in. Let me know you're here. Who is here from one-on-ones? How are you all feeling today? And thanks for joining again for this stretch session. So we've got a few more minutes. It's a 45-minute session, a nice amount of time just for yourself, just to relax. So even if you're catching up on the session later on this evening, I really hope you enjoy it. Try and make some space for your practice. So I always say it's quite nice to have a dedicated space where it's quiet and calm. You can light a candle, some incense, especially for these stretch sessions where we try hold a little longer and get a little deeper into our bodies. So welcome everyone. Hi Simone, first stretch class, welcome. So the first rule about the stretch class is don't overstretch. I know we really want to kind of stretch out our bodies, and that's what we're going to do, but we also need to know what our natural range of motion is and where our personal limitations are in our body, all right? So you don't want to be feeling pain in your stretching, and you're not stretching in and around the joints, right? So we stretch the belly of the muscle, unless we're holding more of like a yin pose where we're then going into the deeper tissues. But I'll guide you through everything, so welcome. I really hope you enjoy this session. We've got Lee. Hello, Lee. It's me, Lee. Hi, Lee. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Callista, welcome. Leela, welcome, everyone. So nice to have you here. Guys, if you... I'm back. Am I back? Let me just check. I don't know what that was. Sorry, guys. But I think I'm back. Let me double check here with the team just before we get started, so I know we can get going. But I think we're good. All right, I think I'm here. Why don't you give me a comment if you can see that I am back online, everyone? I think we're good to go. We've got another minute before 2 o'clock, so let's just let the internet settle a little bit. I don't know why it's making funny kind of lagging. Let's see. Oh, I've got a message here. I see you. Okay, awesome. Thanks. Cool. Thanks, guys. Let's get started. So, you will need a cushion, and that's pretty much it. And that's just to use if you feel you need it. Cool. So, we're going to start lying on our bellies. All right. So, come to lie on your belly. You can have a cushion in front of you. Take your feet hip distance apart. Rest one hand on the other. And then just rest your forehead on your hands. Let your ankles soften so your heels kind of fall out to the side. Soften your belly and your shoulders. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. And again, a full breath in. And a full breath out. Let's take one more full breath in. And a full breath out. Nice. Simply grounding for the practice. Bring yourself present into your body. Just with the intention to make some space. All right, let's lift our head, change the hands, and again, rest your forehead down. We're going to curl our heels towards our buttocks. So really relaxed here. Relax your pelvis. Relax around your buttocks. Almost like your ankles are just balancing above your knees. And then start to move through some ankle rolls. So they can roll together in one direction or in opposite directions. Move nice and slow and just release around the ankles. Feel into your toes as well. And then notice how when, I speak about spreading the toes, that movement doesn't start at the tip of the toe, right? It starts from inside the foot. So feel the arches of the feet expand and the sole of the foot spread, the ball of the foot spread. Maybe you crunch your toes in. Nice. And then pause. Allow your feet back down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and come up onto your knees. Knees are hip distance apart. I'm spreading through my palms and my fingers, and all 10 fingerprints are into the mat. From here, we're just going to roll a little into our wrists and onto the palms of the hands. So rolling to the side, forward to the other side and around. And just keep going. A few more rounds like that. Don't forget the breath. And then you'll change direction. So with any of these exercises that we do, you're always welcome to close your eyes. And that's just nice. You kind of cut off one of your senses sights, right, to the outside world. And that's just another way of drawing your awareness internal. Beautiful. Pause back in center. Let's take it a little further. So we're going to turn our fingertips out to the side. If that already feels quite intense on your hands, your arms, your shoulders, you're going to stay there. Or turn it another little bit backwards. So now it's diagonally back. Okay, again, pause there if that's enough. Or go all the way. So now my fingers are facing my knees. They're in line with one another. And I'm going to do the same thing. So stop wherever you need it to. And just get a nice opening in the wrist. So keep going here. And what we're trying to do is to counteract this movement. This flexion in our wrist that we do to write, to hold, to drive, to read. Everything is this rounding, right? When you're holding something, picking something up, that's the movement. We don't really often use our arms that way. So now we're trying to open up the wrists and get some fluid moving in and around that joint. All right. And then let's pause. Release your hands. Then your knees could stay hip distance here. Tuck your toes under. Make sure, so I almost have to lift my knee so I can really get my big toes tucked under. Watch that your heels don't fall out to the side. Look back so that your heels are pointing straight up to the ceiling. And then start to press your buttocks to your heels. So your hands can be down kind of where they were. And just press back. And as you kind of find your buttocks towards your heels, roll your outer shoulders down and soften your head down. So now you're looking backwards. If your knees are separate, try get a little glimpse back so that you make sure that your heels aren't falling out, you're not buckling in your ankles, but you're getting this beautiful stretch in the inner line of the foot and that big toe side. Let's take one more full breath. Nice. Bring yourself back forward. Untuck your toes, come to the tops of the feet. Puppy dog stretch. We'll keep our hips above our knees and you'll start to walk your hands forward. So there's a few options here. You're either going to just melt your chest down as far as you can go and then soften your head down. So that's quite nice to have the cushion underneath if your head can't touch the ground. Okay, for those who are a little more flexy, this is more of a stretch class. You could take it further by melting your heart down. My elbows and my hands are on the mat. My chin is now on the mat, so I'm looking forward. And then we're going to soften here and hold here. You can close your eyes and just do a little full body scan. Check in with yourself. Notice where you're picking up tension and relax those areas. All right. Press into your hands. Lift your chest and walk your hands back under your shoulders. We're going to tuck our toes under to get a little deeper into the feet. Again, pressing your buttocks back, making sure your inner ankles are squeezing slightly towards one another. If this felt like this is your maximum for today, stay here. Or work with me. You'll walk your hands all the way back to your knees and you'll immediately feel you putting more weight onto your legs. Or come all the way up, resting your hands on your thighs. My shoulders are now stacked above my hips. I'm sitting on my heels, I'm stretching underneath the feet, my collarbones are broad, my top row of teeth, if I'm sitting up, are parallel to the floor. I know it's intense, this is our stretch class, okay? We're going to take 5 full rounds of breath. I know it's hectic, so at any time, come out if you're feeling pain, but if it's just intensity, sit in it, relax your feet, relax your knees. Take those 5 full breaths. Beautiful. Finish all 5 rounds. And then you'll come forward. Bring your hands back down. Slowly uncurl the toes. Come to the tops of the feet. And then without kind of banging the feet, really gently just tap them out. Just a slow tap out. Remember, focus is on those hands, feet, and wrists today. So it might be a part of your body that you haven't really paid that much attention to. So the work could be quite intense. But just stay with me. All right, so we've kind of done some stretching and opening of the wrists. Let's do a little bit of strengthening. So you're going to bring your hands into fists. I would suggest bringing your thumbs kind of on top here instead of wrapping them around, because we're going to come onto the tops of all 4 knuckles. And then this thumb almost presses down in front. And I have my shoulders directly above my fingers. Okay, my knees are under my hips. Bring your shoulders completely over your hands. So now you should feel a lot of weight in your hands, right? We're compressing into the hands, into that wrist joint. If that feels strong enough for you, stay there. Or if you want to work a little more, raise your knees up off the floor. We'll take 3 full breaths. Nice. Lower your knees. Release your hands and see how they kind of instantly go red. So we create this kind of compression and release. So now there's a real strong flush, rush, flow of blood, oxygen, and nutrients to all these little areas of the hands and the fingers, all the little corners. Okay. Bring your big toes to touch and bring your inner knees to touch. Sit yourself back. Walk your hands back. Everyone work with me now. And then lift your knees so you're in a little toe stand. So my heels are off the floor. Okay. Look forward. Raise your gaze. And then as you need to, slide your hands back. Hold your balance until you can bring your hands into symmetry in front of your heart. Your elbows are out and your hands are pressing into one another. Okay, watch how those heels want to splay out. Squeeze inner ankles together like you're squeezing onto your midline. At the same time, you're broadening out to the sides. Okay. Little activation in the belly and in the legs. We're going to take like a little elevator. Take yourself all the way up. So the key here is the more I press down, the easier it is to move up. So press your feet down, almost like you're trying to stomp through your mat. Press down, press down, press down, press down, press down. Lift up. Hold your balance. And now get a nice squeeze into your legs. So you're really trying to get your heels as high as you can. Stretch your legs. From the navel up, I'm really relaxed. Beautiful. And then ground your heels down. Bring your feet hip distance apart. Release your hands behind you and let's open up the shoulders. So interlace your fingers, roll your shoulder caps back, and then try and extend the arms. All right, let's take our feet a little wider than hip distance, and then we'll move into a forward fold. So bend your knees a lot. Keep your hands as they are and start to take a forward fold. As you do, you'll adjust the arms as you must, soften your head and move into a forward fold. Quite an intense shoulder stretch this. So only go as far as feels comfortable. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Nice. Bring your hands to the lower back. Take a halfway lift, a little bend in the knees. And then release the arms all the way down so that you can reach for your opposite elbows and again tuck the chin. Let's play with straightening out the legs. So bend your left leg, your left knee, and straighten out your right leg as much as you can. Allow the head to be heavy. And then switch. So I'm almost moving my weight a little to the right and I'm extending through the left. 1 more to each side. Bend left, extend right. And then bend right, extend left. Bend both knees, release your hands. Activate your glutes. Draw your lower belly up and in. And then heavy head, heavy arms, they come up last. Roll your spine all the way up. Loop your shoulders up, back, and down. Beautiful. Reach both arms up. Take a nice full stretch. And then again, bring the hands round and back behind you. Second interlace. Roll the shoulder caps back. Lift up through the heart. Bend your knees and find your forward fold. Now you might straighten out the legs a little more. Bring your awareness to your breath. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and find a softening. Nice. Bend your knees, release your hands to your lower back. Release them all the way down. Again, take your opposite hand to your opposite elbow, but change whichever arm was on top or in front. And then same thing, just a little kind of rock side to side as you extend through the legs. You can rock the torso a little, moving into a little more of a side stretch. So as my left knee bends, my left elbow perhaps touches my left calf muscle, and I'm moving my right elbow away from me. Over to my right, I switch. One more to your left. One more to your right. Back to neutral. Bend your knees, release your hands. Roll your spine all the way up. And loop the shoulders. Alright, I'm going to change direction. You can stay as you are. Feet pretty much hip distance apart. And bring my weight onto my right leg. And then draw your left foot off the floor. This left thigh is pretty relaxed now. And again, we'll just move through some ankle rolls as we started with. Now finding activation, that slight compression in my standing leg. So our right ankle is balancing. Our right ankle is active, whereas this left one's pretty soft and you're just trying to release around it. Don't hold your breath. Beautiful. Change direction if you haven't. Now you can see your toes. So remember when we were lying on our bellies, you couldn't see. Now you can look. So good to use your gaze, to use your eyes, to use that sense of sight, to have a look at your body and kind of see what's going on there. Beautiful. Pause here. Point into the toe. I'll switch to the side. And then start to curl that heel to your bum. Take your left hand to the top of that foot and then kind of just squeeze that heel into your buttock. Now stretch open the top of the foot and the top of your left thigh. Okay, don't lock into your standing leg, but that leg can be straight and strong. 3 full breaths. So roll your left rib cage forward, your left shoulder forward, so you get a nice stretch in the shoulder as well as in that foot now. I'm pretty much holding on my toes. So my toes are curling around and I'm using my toes to pull across the top of the foot. Nice. Bend standing leg. Release that leg. Draw it up to center. Lift it, lift it, lift it. Bring your hands around that shin and just squeeze it up as tight as you can. Nice. Lower left foot down. Again, hands on hips, feet hip distance. Weight onto your left leg, start to roll right ankle around. Deepen your breath. No, this is all therapy work, preventative medicine, right? So a lot of people go, oh, I can't do yoga because I can't touch my toes. And then I always ask them, how long have you tried to practice to touch your toes? How much work are you putting in to get to the toes? All right. Change direction if you haven't. Also, it's not about touching the toes, right? But that's just a general yoga question that I get a lot. Okay, so opposite side, pause, point the toes, squeeze the heel to buttock, hand to that foot. I like to kind of reach into my toes. And then I'm not kind of taking that knee too far back or forward. It's pretty much in line with my left knee. And then I'm squeezing the heel to buttock. Drawing my lower belly in. Rolling my right shoulder slightly forward. And then let's take 3 full deep breaths. All right. So you release. Remember, we're drawing that leg up to our chest. Flex the ankle. Hands around that shin. Change your interlace. And again, just pull it up. Such a nice feeling, this. And then slowly release down. Okay, so now we're going to bring our weights into our right leg again. We're going to move up and work around the hips. So left knee to chest. Nice. And then just start to move that hip around. So same thing, just kind of rolling it around a few circles in this direction. And take a nice sigh out through the mouth if you need. And then change direction. So we're loosening and strengthening at the same time in different parts of the body. So you can kind of almost let your awareness to shift from one to the other, the more active right hip, right glute, right leg, and then the really soft and gentle left side. All right, let's pause with the left knee to chest. Flex your left ankle. Figure 4 balance. So take that left leg out to the side. Okay, bend your right leg. Start to bring your outer left ankle onto your right thigh. Okay, both my hips are facing forward, so you can bring your hands to your hips. Don't worry if your hips move too much, but you don't want your right hip to pop out. Okay, so squeeze your right hip back in. And then sit down as deep as you can. Maybe release the hands to the heart. And maybe bring your elbows on top of that left leg. Draw your spine nice and long. Draw the pinky side of that left foot back. Hollow your belly and send your sit bones back. 2 more breaths. All right, come all the way up. Knee to chest. And lower left leg down. Good job. Hands to the hips. Now, nice active left leg, right leg's turn to relax. So again, moving it in and around. And in, oop, and around. If you lose your balance, just start again. I've got a nice little repetitive click in this right hip. Change direction. And so you just start to learn a little more, about your own environment. Like if your body was a map, then you're exploring all these different parts of yourself. All right. Draw your knee back to center. I hope you've changed directions. Have I changed directions? Yes, I've changed directions. And then let's take figure 4 to the other side. Right ankle, left thigh. Whoop. Find your balance. Curl your right toes back. Remember, left hip isn't kind of popping out. Squeeze it in. And then set yourself down, 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 down. Maybe elbows come to that right leg. My shoulders are down away from my ears. My sit bones are moving back. And I'm opening that right hip. 2 more full breaths. Nice, come all the way up. Right knee to chest. And then lower right foot down. Good job, everyone. Hands to the hips. Take your feet again a little wider than hips. Straighten your legs. And then almost like a hula hoop. So now let's release both those hips. Taking the hips to the side, forward and around. Keep going. Let's just do 3 in this direction. And then 3 in the other direction. And then come back to center. All right, so increasing the work through the ankles, the knees, and the hips, we're going to come to sit in a squat. Don't worry if your heels don't touch the floor. You might be on the balls of your feet, but taking the toes to turn out. So you see my thighs are slightly rotated out. They're not facing forward. They're slightly turned out to follow the line of my knees and my feet. Okay? Doesn't have to be 45 degrees completely. My feet are generally turned kind of in between forward and 45. And then I'm going to bring myself to sit all the way down. Adjust as you must. Maybe the elbows come to the inner thighs, the hands to the heart, and maybe your heels are all the way grounded. Okay, if you're on the balls of your feet and you need your hands to be on the floor, perfectly fine. Okay, I want us all to stay here, neutral neck, so whether your hands are down or not. And then close your eyes and just feel in and around your pelvis now, your knees, your ankles, the lower back. Okay, open the eyes. Straddle, release your hands down, lift your hips, and heel toe the feet quite a bit further apart. Toes facing in, heel forward, heels facing backwards. Take a halfway lift, and then allow yourself to gently fold forward here. Head is nice and soft, and the front of my legs are active. I'm just releasing down. And just a nice gentle inversion here. Feel what you need for your legs to be secure. Nice opening in the inner groins. Nice. And then hands down, lift up. A lot of movement in our hip joints as we take a lunge to our left. So we're going to turn our left toes out. Bring our right knee down. So adjust as you must here. Maybe you're padding underneath that right knee with your cushion. My back toes are staying tucked under. My front knee is above its ankle. And I'm going to draw both arms up. Reach up. Bird wing the arms, so that stop sign kind of shape. Lift through the chest and curl your ears slightly back. And then here, you could sink your hips down a little further, getting an opening in the front of that right thigh. Beautiful. Extend the arms, release them, bring them down. Raise your back knee up all the way through center again. Acknowledge that there's a lot going on here, so move slowly, move carefully. Ground your left knee. Again, front knee above its ankle. Draw both arms up, take a nice full stretch. Same thing, bend your elbows, lift your chest. And then extend the arms down and bring the hands down. Raise your back knee up. Walk yourself back through center. Take a halfway lift. And then heel toe your feet all the way together. Big toes to touch. Lift onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees. Bring your buttocks down to your heels. We're in that little squat that we started in to bring us up. That's what's going to bring us back down. So now, big toes are touching. I'm going to separate my knees, almost like a little frog shape. And then I'm going to try sit back into a squat. So I'm making my heels heavy. I'm bringing my torso between my thighs. I'm reaching my arms forward. And I'm allowing my head to release down. Okay. Look up. Bring your heels to the mat. Bring your buttocks to the mat. And now you're in what we call a butterfly pose. Here, you're welcome to sit on a cushion because sometimes lifting the hips a little allows them to slightly relax. We're going to extend our right leg out to the side. And then draw your left heel so that it's kind of in line with the midline of the body. Flex your right toes up so this right thigh is nice and active. Draw both arms up. And then let's take an easy twist to the left. Left hand behind you, right arm across. Look over to your left. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Look forward. Shoulders to face forward. Both arms up. Take a twist to the right. Right hand behind you, left arm across. Look over your right shoulder. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Nice. And then look forward. Keep your right hand behind you at first and bring your left hand onto your left thigh. And then bring your right arm around. Either place the right arm kind of leaning onto your right thigh, or perhaps your right shin, or perhaps to the ground on the inside of that leg. All right, so right thigh, further down is the shin, and kind of next would be down onto the floor. Press into your left thigh and start to roll the rib cage open to the left. Opening that left arm up to the ceiling, relax your right ear down. Remember, my right leg is still nice and active. Then I'm going to take my right arm. I'm going to pull it up and over the right fingertips towards my right toe, but I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to move that hand past, down, forward, back, and up. I'm going to do 2 more like that. Reaching over. Move slowly. Soft right ear. Again, reaching over. And then left arm meets up. Flip that palm away from you and start to draw it down towards the floor till your wrist is shoulder height. So now my left arm is spread, my fingertips are facing down, my right is heavy, and I'm just going to let that arm sink down until I feel a good stretch in the left side of my neck. And then I'm just going to take a full breath in, full breath out, and then allow that left hand to become a little heavier until you stack your vertebra, come up into a seat. Nice. Okay, then just make sure you're still comfy here. You're going to bring your right foot in front of you. And then this is a tricky one, but it's really helped me in getting more mobility into my foot, kind of more releasing any of the tension. You know, our toes really are supposed to be like these free little balancers, and they often end up like this. So the the challenge is, between your, with all your fingers, you're going to try and place a finger between each of the toes. So index finger between thumb and second toe, middle finger between the second and the third, fourth finger between the third and the fourth, and then pinky between those toes. So you got your fingers almost like you would interlace your fingers. You're interlacing your hands with your toes. Okay? Not so easy, right? There's sometimes very thick tissue that's gathered in this area. And then here, you kind of just sit like this, even with your foot like in front of you, and you're just going to move it around. So just a little bit of stretching, just moving that foot around, and just stretching out the tissues there. At the same time, you could actually use your right hand to give your whole foot a bit of a massage. So massaging around the front and the side. So you're pretty much giving yourself a little foot massage. Okay. And then you'll slowly release that foot. Give it a last few squeezes. And then we'll switch. Left leg to extend. Right heel in line with the pubic bone. Left leg active, toes up. Draw both arms up, take a full breath, and then switch into that twist. Left hand across, right hand behind you. Look over your right shoulder. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Look forward. Square off your shoulders. Both arms up. Twist from the navel. Left hand behind you, right arm across. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. And then look forward. Release your right hand to your right thigh. Bring your left forearm onto your left thigh, your left shin, or the floor, depending on what you did on the other side. I like to use this hand to almost push a little bit of space, roll my rib cage open, and when I'm ready to open that right arm, I open it up, and I soften my left ear to my left shoulder. Let's go 3 rounds. Right arm up, over, forward, across, and back. Getting a nice little squeeze into the armpits as well. A lot of lymph nodes there. So don't forget your exhales. Alright, pause. Flip that palm away from you, and remember you're slowly going to move it down to shoulder height. Make sure it's extended and away from you. Make sure your left ear is heavy, and then let that hand sink down a little further until you feel that nice stretch in the right side of your neck. Close your eyes and let's just take a few breaths here. Nice. And then let it kind of become heavier until it brings you all the way up. Second side, bringing that left foot in. You're taking your index finger between between big toe, second toe, ring finger between second toe and third toe, middle finger, sorry, ring finger between third toe and fourth toe. My counting is gone for today. Pinky finger between the fourth toe and the fifth toe. So I'm kind of interlacing my hands and my toes. And then here, you can kind of just move that foot around. You might need to have it on the floor. Take your second hand and just give your foot a nice little massage. So, per lockdown, I have not had a massage. I know it's a luxury, but I actually have a friend who's a masseuse, and it's, you know, yes, massage can be a luxury, but it can also be extremely healing for the body. So I have a friend who does amazing work, and it's one of the things I've really missed is body work through the lockdown. And so giving your own body a little bit of a squeeze, a little bit of a rub, is not only really good for it, but what I like about it is it really draws attention to areas that are actually, that could be sore or something stiff or stuck that you don't know until you kind of touch it, you know. I always find it so interesting that when I get a massage and they get to my wrists, that my wrists are so incredibly sore, and they actually have to relieve the pressure with which they're massaging. So yeah, get into your own body, give your body a little bit of TLC. All right, and then let's release that foot. Beautiful, everyone. Let's extend both legs out in front of us. So you could be sitting on your cushion now, but if you like, if you got a second cushion, use your second cushion. If you only got one, you might want to come off it, place it underneath your legs, so your legs could have a little bit of a bend or a little bit of support. My cushion's quite flat, so I could double it. I'm going to soften my legs. I'm going to reach my arms up, and I'm just going to take my arms forward. And I'm just going to allow my hands to rest on my shins, my chin to tuck, and I'm just going to soften here into myself. So I'm not going into my deepest. It's not very active. Just going to pause here for a moment or two. Nice. I'm going to roll the spine up. Move it into a butterfly, like a long butterfly. So bring the soles of my feet together. Lift up. And again, kind of fall in between my legs. Hands can rest where I need them to. And I'll tuck my chin. So here you can go as kind of as far as you like. You're just going to soften into the shape at your maximum. And let's hold 5 full breaths. Alright, let's come all the way up. Remove your cushion, place it to the side, bring yourself to lie down, and then a little hug of the knees into chest. Take a little squeeze, a little rock side to side. Let's keep our right knee into our chest, extend your left leg forward, and then guide your right knee across to the left. Just a simple twist here, looking over to your right. Let's stay here a few more breaths. Just holding there. Eyes can be closed. Beautiful. Come all the way back through to center. And switch left knee to chest. Extend your right leg. Really squeezing it in. And you'll twist to the other side. So left knee across to the right. Left arm can open. You can look over to your left. And let's take this in silence the last few minutes here of our practice. You close your eyes. Soften the body. Allow everything to be nice and heavy. And I love to use these last moments of practice to just honor my body, honor myself and my practice and my dedication. Let's finish off one last full round of breath so we don't shortchange the side to the other. All right, come all the way back up. Both knees to hug into chest, a nice little squeeze. And then take a full body stretch. And then we'll find Shavasana. So you can just come into a kind of a classic corpse pose, very symmetrical. You've got your cushion that could be behind your head. And for those who have this isn't a wall, but if you have a wall behind you or next to you, then I would suggest placing both legs straight up the wall, just so you let your legs drain out. It's a really nice option. For those who are feeling any discomfort in the lower back, bend your knees. Place your feet mat width apart and let your inner knees just touch. You can even rest your hands on the belly. Okay, otherwise, legs out, or arms even up overhead. And we'll just take a minute or two in Shavasana. So this is our time to process our practice in a way that is not in the mind, but just letting whatever energy, emotions, or thoughts that are coming up to just run through us, while we just stay focused on relaxing and breathing. And that is our only awareness. Whatever else comes up, do not attach to. Maybe sigh it out. Last few breaths here. Allow yourself to completely relax the body. All right, and then in your own way, you'll invite movement back into your body, whatever that looks like for you, a stretch or a squeeze. And then you can either rock straight up or to the side. That will bring you up into a seat. Hands can be grounded on the thighs or maybe to the heart space as you close your eyes. And I thank you for sharing your practice today. May you move from a more open and connected space. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful Wednesday further. Middle of the day of the middle of the week of a Monday to Friday week, if those of you are back to your Monday to Fridays. So I always find that, that's um, it's quite an important part. It's almost like you're just meeting yourself halfway, and going, okay, cool. This week I set out to do this, this, and this. Um, this week I have planned this, this. This is what my calendar looked like. These were my goals. I wanted to create space to do this or this. And this is the perfect time. It's almost like the perfect day to check in with yourself and see, cool, let me have a relook at that. What have I done? What haven't I done? But also more, what do I need to reshuffle? Or where do I need to pivot? Or flip Monday? I don't know where Monday Kathleen's brain was, but she definitely didn't know what this week was going to look like. And she made some impossible plans. And now you get to change that, without any shame or guilt or regret or punishment of yourself. This is the moment where you can just recoup, recalibrate, redirect, and then, shift the way that you're moving into your week. So I really hope that you all enjoyed that. Such a pleasure, Kalista, Simone, Lee, Leela, everyone. Such a pleasure. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. Um, and then, of course, guys, the web app that has launched. We are beyond excited. The team is working tirelessly behind the scenes. There have been a few glitches, guys. It's technology. I mean, have some patience with us. Thank you for your patience. We know you're all excited to get onto this. It is going to be life-changing for all of us. Not only you guys, as kind of the receiving end of all these programs, even though we receive just as much. But like for us as instructors and as coaches, you guys are going to be able to log your workouts. You then have access to the Jeff Flow, the Jeff Ed, the guided runs, the HIIT classes, the Jeff Cook, so many things. And then, of course, once you start logging your progress, you can start to build those badges. And I think it's just going to be such a beautiful way for us all to be able to like really be accountable for ourselves, and then also to be able to share that with everyone around us. So for those of you who are not members, the Facebook is going to be available for a little while longer, but very, very soon. I think it's perhaps in a few days' time the Facebook access will no longer give you access to all of the classes. And of course, anyone who's been doing Jeff is the new gym from the beginning. You want to be here every day. So make sure you've signed up for the membership. It's only 200 Rand. And that really, I always say, that 200 Rand really just goes into Jeff so that we can try and give you guys the best that we can. We've got such high quality people working with us, such passionate people who are like super passionate about this platform and everyone on it. That's where that money goes to, is to make this better for all of us, and to keep this community growing. So thank you everyone for joining. I will be back again tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. 5:30 is beginners class again. So it really is foundation. We move a little slower. I mean, I know I talk a lot, but I think I talk a little more, giving a few more cues to your alignment and how you can adjust your practice for yourself and for your personal needs. So yeah, I hope to see a few new faces tomorrow night. I hope to see everyone who had their first session last night to be back tomorrow. And have a beautiful afternoon, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. Um, Thank you. And if you didn't watch the 11 o'clock video I did about mindfulness and meditation, please go check it out. I've given a few tips there on how you can not challenge, but just look at where your mindfulness is at in your life at the moment. And then also, I do a 5-minute guided meditation in the session. And then if you want a guided meditation, you can also get in touch with me once you've watched that video and comment on the video, and then we can hook you up with a mindful meditation. So thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.